and what would you say is probably like the most important thing as a competitor we can focus on in training, like between drilling and rolling?
Drilling and rolling, there's like everything you do in jiu-jitsu, there's its benefits, like repeating techniques. You know, the more repetition you do, the more details you get from those moves, and then eventually become a specialist at those moves. Drilling is important because you get your body like just naturally moving to like a certain sequence. Live training is extremely important, so you can get yourself like in condition to do like things. So like I would say, there's no like what's better, what's worse. Everything is important. If you have the time, you should be focused like on doing as many techniques as you can. First, you're gonna go hard like 100% of moves that you don't know like so well yet. So repetition without resistance. Drilling is important, like working your timing, like just make your body like move naturally into those moves. And live rolling, in my opinion, is like definitely the best part of it. Once you do the live rolling, you put yourself like in different situations, some moves that you're not really good at. That's when you're gonna start to really like discover your own jiu-jitsu, like you see like things that work better for you, like which way works for you. Because like I had this thing, especially with some of my instructors, they would say, well, don't do this fast this way, but it's like, dude, but it's worked for me that way. So it may be like, for my body type, based on my flexibility, maybe that move is gonna be the way for me to do it. It might not be the way they want me to do it, but it's working now, so I don't feel like I have to make changes, just have to make adjustments and make sure that I'm not failing this move that I'm attempting. So I feel like everything there is its benefits, but live training for me is the biggest thing. If I can train like for 2 hours and maybe focus like 20 minutes of my training, like repeating moves, and another 20 minutes of live drilling, I feel like I get enough like I can make my jiu-jitsu better.
Yeah, man. So you've been a man on the mats for a long time, dude. And you're a fucking killer, and I know you got a couple fights coming up, bro. What's your mindset going into a jiu-jitsu match or a fight?
It's funny because like I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 21 years now, and it's not like I have not lost like the love for the sport. I love jiu-jitsu. That's something that I live jiu-jitsu. I don't just like do jiu-jitsu as a profession. I live jiu-jitsu. Like everything that I do, like I think about like techniques that I'm gonna be teaching my students, things that I love like seeing like when a lot of people do, or things that I love to do like on the mat. But I don't have the same drive like in jiu-jitsu competition like I have in MMA, because I feel like, well, if I go to jiu-jitsu competition, the winning-losing situation, it's different than in MMA. I go to jiu-jitsu match, I feel like I can lose by points, so big deal. Of course, everybody wants to go there and win, but it's like in MMA, there's risk of you getting knocked out, get seriously hurt, get kicked in the face, get punched in the face. All those things, it makes me like nowadays dedicated me like myself like a little bit more to MMA training than I do to jiu-jitsu. When I went to, I'll give a couple examples. When I went to compete against, last ADCC, I was like 240 pounds. Not training at all, training 3 times a week, just once a day, 3 times a week. And I went to compete against the best guys in the world. Of course, I didn't get the best result with it, which I shouldn't, especially training like in that kind of pace. But when I get in an MMA fight, it doesn't matter if I'm going against like, the number 200 in the world or against the number 1 guy in the world, I'm going to train the same way. I'm going to train 3 times a day, every day of the week. So it's different, like I know that I have to prepare myself a little bit harder for MMA. So that's what really keeps me focused like nowadays to train. Like, I was just talking to Phil about it. Like when I was, before I signed with PFL, I was walking around at 254, completely out of shape. Fuck. And now I'm walking around for the last 3-4 months at 220 pounds because I've been in shape, because I've been training every single day, 3 times a day.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome, brother. But mindset going into it, do you try to focus on like what you can control, like what you do, or do you even like look into your opponents at all?
Exactly. That's the whole thing that's happened to me. Like especially now that I'm competing in a tournament, which I cannot be picking who I'm fighting. There's no such a thing as the matchmaker come up. Hey, what do you think of fighting this guy? For me, it's like whoever it's in front of me, I have to fight. It's a tournament. I didn't even know who I'm fighting next until the next couple guys fight on the next card. So it's one of those things like I just have to bring my best game. It's not about like me focus on studying like somebody else's game. You just make sure that I can bring like my best like wrestling games, make sure that I can bring my best grappling game and my best striking. So for me, it's about like right now, it's focus on myself. That's why, like I said, I've been training like 3 a day, not have like not even a rest day.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Look, brother, I really appreciate you giving me the time just to talk to me a little bit, and I look forward to seeing you at your seminar tomorrow, brother. I really appreciate it. No,
thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here, man. I'm looking forward to teaching you guys there too.
Awesome, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.